This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Hello and welcome to Young Hot Guys, the only podcast with the three of us on it every week.
Every week, you will hear one of three voices. Me, hi, Killian here.
Me, Shane here, how's it going?
And yeah, so and then of course me, I like to kind of like destroy the energy sometimes.
No, and it's been
Thanks, Tony.
it's been a hard week.
It's been a hard week.
It's been a hard week.
Why has it been a hard week?
They're attractive. Very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
The green of Ireland, the green of St. Patrick's Day, and the beautiful green tint of a nice can of Irish lager.
Irish lager brewed in Kilcool, County Wicklow.
I like the re-rock because there's no punts and wants with the re-rock.
No punts and wants. It's all a load of punts and wants, but not re-raw. And you know, didn't St. Patrick himself, after getting rid of all the snakes in Ireland, sat down and had himself a nice can of re-raw.
He did, and he decreed that there will be no price increase for re-raw until the year 2026.
Re-rock, thank you for sponsoring Young Hot Guys.
Love you so much.
We were in the amazing, wonderful Drogheda, did an afternoon show.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun, I have to say, for a 4 p.m. Art Centre sober vibe, you know.
They were there.
They were there. It was,
There was
a
one
lot of
woman
fun.
who hated Tony.
Said she didn't know me.
Yeah.
What did she say? She said she knew the others.
She
No, someone gave her a free ticket. So she's like, yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
What I did love, which I thought was a great crack, where you asked if Drogheda was a town or a city, and with the same kind of enthusiasm that you hear and kind of, you know, Lord be with us and also with you. They, you know, he said, is it a town or a city? And they were all like, it's Ireland's biggest town.
Ireland's biggest town.
Ireland's biggest town.
Amen.
Amen.
They must just parrot that one off. Ireland's biggest town.
And there'll never be a city because no one's going to build a university in Drogheda, so that's what it is. But they all knew all the stats. I thought that was impressive. I was like, why aren't you city? What are you missing? A cathedral? And they're like, university. Everyone knew.
A little bit like a game of like Skyrim or Age of Empires or something like that. They're like, we just need a city, we need a university and a cathedral, and then we can get to cities.
And then we
we'll
get to
the Golden Age, and then we get to
2.
level 5.
Yeah.
I didn't play those games, but I feel like I get the idea. I get the idea.
That's
like that.
So we are announcing shall we say, Kickstarter.
Kickstarter?
Make a university in Drogheda and hopefully get them up there to city level. But a lovely place. We had a lovely time. The fine Drogheda people.
So it's a lot of people have been comparing the Young Hot Guys University to the sort of the Trump University, in that it's a scam and that you send your money to it and nothing actually gets built and no one does any courses. It's not like that at all. It's a betterment program for the people of Drogheda, and it's you just keep sending your money in the safe and the knowledge that it's going to the right place.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, and once we bring in YHGU, we are going to change the name of the city.
Yes, and we will get another head for Drogheda. We will find some sort of religious person or their body and get another head for Drogheda.
Yeah.
Because Francis of
Oliver Plunkett.
Oliver Plunkett. I
you
always
saying
mix
Francis
Oliver
Assisi.
Yeah, I always mix them up. I don't know why.
Where is Oliver Plunkett's head again?
In the Albert Hall.
In the Oliver Plunkett's head in Drogheda Cathedral or whatever.
I don't know.
Anyway, they have a head over there. I don't know anything about Oliver Plunkett, and I didn't know anything about his head, and I don't know where it is, and I didn't see it.
What were you thinking when we were talking about that then on the stage?
I know there's a head there. That's pretty interesting.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But, you know, I think what I've realised now is the existing corpses of people is a real kind of tourist kind of attraction. And I don't know why we're burying our loved ones. Surely Gene Hackman's head's got to carry some kind of fervour. You know, I remember when JP2 died, the Vatican, the queue around just to see to know that his corpse was in there, Strongbow, Marhambla, in Christchurch. You know, I'd say, look.
They say it's half as strong, but don't they say that?
Which half?
I don't know. But sure, wasn't he chopped in half?
I'd say if they had to specify the half, it's probably the legs. Because if it was missing his legs, I'd say they'd be like, yeah, he's all there. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they would only get into the minutiae of the detail, whether it was half, if it was kind of like, well, like it's half.
His real name, Richard de Clare, of course. Very important that you learn that in primary school.
Sounds
Strongbow's
tasty.
real
So,
name, Richard
Richard
de Clare.
so his
You must remember
surname-
that. For what, miss? For what?
His
When are
surname
you
was
going
a
to use
girl's
this?
first name.
What?
His surname was a girl's first name.
Richard?
His surname was a girl's
Declare.
first name.
I declare that Mr. Strongbow has found his untimely end and has been chopped right through the center, his entrails and whatnot spilling out, and his grieving wife Eve wailing over his corpse. Place that inside the cathedral in Dublin City. Anyway,
Dick Declare. That sounds like one of those like tasty kind of like penis desserts that you'd get in, like, remember there was like the sexy bakery that was going on for a while.
Oh yeah.
oh, that's a shit stuff. That's crap.
Is it?
I just think that's all that shit phases of a cake, but it's a dick. Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm famously a bake, and I never do it in the form of erotic. I'm not accidentally, accidentally. It happens quite a lot, actually. Just making some bread, and actually it looks like a massive.
How is your baking going?
What have I made most recently that I've baked? Oh, I made a rye bread. I'm still getting roasted by these fucking idiots.
Well, they
online.
like it now. You've set up a system of a
I've
game
set
where
up a
you.
system, but the thing is that a lot of the people that are roasting me actually think they're right.
Oh.
And it's so funny to me because they don't realize that I've baked 1,000 loaves in my life and I'll bake 1,000 more. And it means I know what a good loaf of bread is. I know, and I obviously that I had to get to terms with my oven, and I had to learn that it was a new oven that I was using, and I got a new rummer top to bake it in. So
I knew what?
a rummer top, a rummer top,
Rumor top.
like a Dutch oven.
Okay. With
Yeah.
you
Are
now?
you saying top?
Is this a thing where you say the German by
It's a
mistake?
rummer top. It's
Rumor top.
I think.
Is
I
this
think
what
that
you got
people-
for Christmas?
I think people say it in English.
I've never.
rummer
I don't
top.
know. Maybe I don't know.
Crusade.
Pardon
Say
my
that in
ignorance.
English.
Do you mean a
Rumor
Le
top.
Creuset? A
It's
Dutch
one of
oven?
those German words that people use in English.
Rumor top.
Yeah,
I
but
know that.
You have just before. You have just said a German thing to us, as if that makes sense.
I was getting a real Schadenfreude from his
Like
broken
that.
rumor top.
Do you know what that is?
I've never seen that before. Rumor top.
Every house has one.
No, every house does not have a rumor top.
Wow.
Well, anyway, that's what they're used for. They're great for capturing,
Oh, that's lovely. now.
keeping air in. You
Keeping-
do stews and stuff, and you can actually bake bread inside them.
Put a
That's
joint
lovely.
in there.
And you can put a joint in there.
Oh, we're jamming.
Blaze it up, yeah.
But people are slagging you. It's hard sometimes.
Well, just
People
they
who
think-
take a swing at banter and then they kind of get into an argument. You know what I mean? Do you ever see
It's
that?
more people are like, oh, this doesn't look like a fucking sliced white Brennan's bread loaf. Like it's it's a little bit brown. I'm like, listen, this ain't my first row. As I said, like I could have been on the Great British Bake Off if I hadn't become a fucking F-list celebrity in Ireland. If I hadn't made that fatal error, I could have been on the Great British Bake
Are
Off.
you
did
too
you see?
famous for the Bake Off?
I think any type of even slight notoriety, like I'd say anything under 20,000 followers, you probably get away with it. But I fucking soiled my true life's
Trousers.
ambition. I soiled my trousers, and I'm way too low to be on the celebrity Great British Bake
Yeah.
Off. Like I'm far too low
Yeah.
on the rung to be that
At the moment.
But I think I'm just a little too much for the fucking actual original one. So it's,
Watch your mouth.
I'm pissed off.
Hey,
You might
hey,
It's a fucking pissy
buddy,
joke.
Watch your mouth, mate.
It's shit.
You might get like Ireland versus England or Ireland celebs versus rest of the world kind of, that might happen for you.
It's not going to happen, Tom.
It would
Come
be
on,
funny if
realistic.
it was like Ireland versus England. Like, talking of for Ireland, we've got Killian Sundermann with his rummer top. He's going to be baking a Black Forest gateau and some
Yeah.
traditional damp noodles. And it's like,
David Beckham there coming in hard at Killian. No, that could happen. I could see you doing like the kind of Ireland, because it's like,
the thing
Look,
is,
it's Slim
I
Pickens
wouldn't
out
be
there.
good on it because I think the celebrities go on and they're supposed to be real, and comedians go on and there's supposed to be a bit of crack and there's supposed to be a bit of fun, and I would take it incredibly seriously. And like if Noel came over to me or Matt Lucas came over to me and they're like, oh, he's a comedian, I'll have a bit of crack with him.
Right.
Like, oh,
Bake Off.
Killian, it looks like your jacond has got a little bit too much egg, and I'll be like, oh, you should actually fuck off, yeah? Why don't you go make some off-color jokes that don't stand the test of time? Sorry.
Leave that in. Leave that. I'm going to keep shouting, leave it in, so that there's no edit point. Leave it in, leave it in, leave it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is annoying sometimes that like, you can't, you probably, the thing is as well, you're kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you probably can't enter anything as a civilian, any kind of baking show or Master Chef or Eurostar.
Yeah.
Eurostar, very topical.
Very topical. Everyone talking about it right now. Unfortunately, you won't be a Mickey Joe Hart.
How many years was Eurostar allowed pick the Eurovision act?
Not many, like 4 or 5.
I think I can only remember Mickey Joe and Donna and Joe.
No, there was more.
Was there?
Yeah, there
Simon
was more.
Casey?
Yeah, he might have come second to Mickey Joe, actually. I don't know.
Simon Delaney you're thinking of. And he never performed in the Eurovision.
He bloody would turn his hand with those Simon
Oh,
Delaney.
God, he would, yeah.
I wouldn't put anything past that Simon Delaney.
He's a worker. He's a grafter.
He's a fucking grafter, he is. He actually, Simon Delaney is an actor who came to prominence in the 2000s, the Boomtime TV show.
He's a comedian. Yeah, he's great.
No, he's an actor. He's an actor.
He's also a comedian, I'm pretty sure.
No, he's an actor. Like, that's his job, actor.
I did
It's
a
a
thing
weird
with
thing
him.
if you're just going to keep saying he's a comedian.
I could have sworn he was a comic.
No, he's not.
He's got that vibe.
Yeah, but he also then, like, he'd be on TV shows like in America and all. He had a recurring role in The Good Wife and all this kind of crap.
Yeah.
And then he'll do a bit of fucking Ireland AM. And then he'll do Lyric FM. He'll throw in little bits. I wouldn't put a thing past Simon Delaney.
I was talking to him once, and he had a beard.
You think he's a comic? Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I know he is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I
we're
just
going to
thought
have
he was a
conflict now. We're having conflict.
comic. And we were talking about comedy together. I feel like he's definitely done stand up or tried his hand at it. But he had a beard on, and I was like, I'm loving the beard. And he goes, I fucking hate it. It's for a role, and it's a huge fucking beard.
Wow.
Like, how long did he have to have that on for?
Ireland AM made him grow a beard. That's crazy. So
Simon,
beards.
so this is what we want.
We're
We
all
want a big
talking about
fucking-
beards.
Think real daddy vibes for you. Thinking like maybe something, like a beard or a scar. Could you get a scar?
I could cut myself, yeah, that'd be no problem. That'd be no bother. I like that. I like the Grafton thing,
Me too.
The Grafton Quarter.
The Grafton Quarter. Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a serious resident of the Grafton Quarter, I'd say. He's a very hard worker. But I wouldn't look, what else are we going to do? Do you know what I mean? Unless we move country, this is our future as well, boys.
What
I
else
don't know
do we have to
tell
do?
you.
Yeah, I think it's all well and good now, be on tour and all that crack, but it doesn't last forever. You have to try and think of other jobs to do.
Mm-hmm. Marhambla Lyric FM.
Marhambla Lyric FM.
Welcome to Tony in the Morning.
Pressure Washer.
Welcome back to Lyric FM. This is a phenomenal song. It's E.T. by John Williams. That was John Williams with E.T. there, and now Hook by John Williams. That was John Williams with the incredible track from Hook there. Now Jurassic Park by... It says here John Williams. I don't know any other classical music.
That's good, yeah, though. I like that. You could do that.
Yeah, I'd love that. And then I was like, I loved your John Williams marathon. I suppose it was, yeah.
I didn't realise that, yeah.
I suppose it was. And now Tenet by Hans Zimmer.
Hans needs to get back to the instruments, I think, instead of playing with the radiators and the fucking, electric toothbrushes.
Yeah, he does. Although Dune was brilliant, his score for Dune. And I mean, I love his Interstellar thing is just out of this world. How is he able to create a rhythm that feels like it's building, but never actually, it feels like it's constant dun, 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 but it's actually not tonally moving up any kind of scale.
And I did love it, but it did feel like you were watching a film with the washing machine on. Like I had that kind of...
You need a new washing machine back. Do you know what it is? There's these little plastic things you have to take off when you get the new washing machine. Otherwise, it's going to make that noise. It's to stop it. It's to stop the thing from spinning when it's in transit.
Oh.
And if you put it on without taking those little plastic washers off the back, that's the kind of noise you get. You're actually destroying your washing machine, I'd wager.
I don't... Okay, well, why is this suddenly... Am I getting attacked about my washing machine?
I've been ill and everything, but I've lost... I feel like my mother... I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about now.
I don't know why I'm laughing.
I don't know what
I
they're
don't know
talking
why
about
I'm
now.
laughing.
I don't know why you're talking about now.
You should do what mothers do and just like butt in with a completely unrelated tirade about something else.
Okay, yeah.
Just like come in and go like, well, last week, and then just talk about what you want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the way it works with mothers.
Mm.
I was talking to your father.
Go on.
Oh, do I have to go?
Yeah, do a little improv. Go on.
Okay. I was talking to your father, and basically, well, he was saying, I don't know, I have nothing.
Oh, I'm
Why
sorry.
don't I have what am I just doing my mum?
You started making a little Wayne Joe noise there. Did you see that? Anyway, I don't know.
Pops out sometimes.
You brought up that about
I
mums.
try keep it at bay, but it comes out.
Were you mad at us at the weekend? We went. We were trying to carpool, and then we had Jordan doing our tech for us as well. Tony's friend Jordan, who's now our friend Jordan.
He is.
And then we
Wormed his way in.
Jordan asked me the other day. Tony's friend, right? Originally, these are busy boys for years and years. But the other day, Jordan texted me saying, "Are you out drinking anywhere?" And I was like, "Oh my god, no, I wasn't available for him." But I was like, "Would I be allowed? Is that cheating on Tony?"
Not
you know
at
what I mean?
all,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like one of those things, you know. I'm not able to do it. I mean, I obviously don't want to be in an open relationship, but at the moment I'm not able to perform because I've got the kids. So I just want him to be happy. So
You want Jordan to be happy.
I just want him to get his rocks off. In fact, he'd probably be easier around the house if he's actually getting a little drink here and there with someone else. You know, I try not to think about it. You know.
But Killian, I felt that we were all doing this joke where you didn't want to carpool with us because you were leaving Drogheda earlier than us. And then when we got there, remember there was that time we all went to the weird shop called, what was it called? Spice
World.
Spice World, which is
World
one of the great
Spice.
World of Spice,
Yeah.
which we then called Spice World, which is the name of the Spice Girls movie. We were calling it Spice World.
Super cheap vapes, I have to say.
Super
Very impressive.
food from all over. It was great, and the man was very nice.
Yeah.
But then you were standing on the other side of the street, and I just felt like, did you think we were in a gang against you? Because we kept trying to go, Killian, what are you? And you were just like always doing something different.
I guess I was at a sink or something.
Yes.
I felt like that for months. But basically, I mean, how did you guys know about Spice World?
The
I
man from the
showed
venue.
you guys. I showed you guys the shop, and the reason you guys know about it because I was standing outside, and the reason that I knew about it was because I actually went there originally to get drinks for you guys. That's why I went there. I went to the shop and I was like, "Hey, I'll get the guy some drinks." And then I called Tony up.
But
and
we
I said,
all
"Hey."
wanted to go on the trip to the
Yeah,
shop, and
well, I
then
didn't
you
know
took
that.
it upon
I thought
yourself.
everyone
You were
was
like ran
preparing for
off.
the show, and I thought I'd do a nice thing for the guys. So I was like, I ran there. I called Tony. I said, "Hey, Tony, you guys want some drinks?" And he said, "Actually, sorry, like me, Tony, and
He was. I knew you did feel weird. You did feel weird.
And Shane are going to go get drinks together, and then after the show, we're actually going to go get some food together as well.
Had a show.
You had your own show.
Yeah, well, you could have organized food at a different time when I didn't have my show.
See, this
Then
is
we had
amazing.
shows.
Because on paper, yes, you're right. But
That's
you're wrong.
exactly what happened.
On paper, you're right.
And
but
so I stood on the other side of the street where it was sunny, and I was next to a man.
Please don't bring up my child's name.
A man who was sitting at a picnic bench. He had a CD Walkman. And he was opening up, and he had an album, and it was the Sweeney Men, which is an Andy Irvine band with Johnny Moynihan from the 60s. And I was
don't know
like,
a single word you just
and he
said.
was sitting there, and it was a Sunday afternoon, and he was listening to a CD Walkman.
Wow.
A Discman.
A Discman. And I saw my friends coming out of the shop, and then I looked at this man sitting there on his own on a Sunday afternoon when he, and I was like, this is my future. I'm going to be sitting.
You
at
felt
this
more
bench.
connected
I
to
was
the man
more
than us.
connected to them, and I just thought like, this is my future because my friends don't fucking love me anymore.
See, this is just.
But you were scatterbrained. You ran off to the shop. We were all going to go to the shop, and you
I
ran
was
off.
doing it for you guys.
We were doing work, like so I was setting up the camera and stuff around that period, and then you were like, "I'll just go." And then, but
The reason I went also was to get a USB stick. USB stick.
I got my dick out.
I got my dick out for the guy in the shop, and that's why he gave me Coke, and I did that for you guys.
You going over to a man in like, I think there was like 5 minutes we weren't together. You going over to talk to a man in the sun with a CD Walkman playing an album is the perfect example of how Killian gets trapped with stragglers when we're out for pints, and he'll come over being like, "This is John," and I'm like, "Oh, hi, John."
That is so Killian coded. It's so Killian coded.
I had a good one last night where I was looking at the moon with a telescope because it was bright last night. And then
the stuff, like I mean, I know we joke about it, Killian.
It's like an episode of Mr. Ben. It's like he's like,
Yeah.
I went and I was a ranger. I went into the costume shop, and the man gave me a telescope.
I was looking at the moon through a telescope, and as if it was
I was
simple
doing a
as like
Pilates
I went for a drink or I had a glass of water.
I did a gig last night and I cycled home and the moon was shining like you've never seen it before. And so I came in and Anna was in her pajamas and I said, "Babe, we've got to look at the moon." So I got the telescope I bought her for her birthday, like God, who knows how long ago.
Wow.
And I took it out and she didn't come down because she was in her pajamas and stuff like that. And then I just set it on the ground because it was the most flat surface and I pointed at the moon and I was looking at it. And I wanted to, and it was amazing looking at the moon. It's glowing. If you've ever looked at the moon through a telescope, it's unbelievable. It's like you're seeing it for the first time. And then there was this young boy like walking by. He was probably like 20, 21 years old. And then I just like looked up and I just saw him. And then I said, "Hey, you want to see the moon?"
Oh my God. How old is the child?
He was probably like 20, 21.
Okay.
And he was like, "Yeah, cool." And then he
Wow.
he came down, he looked at it, and I felt like he could have. When I first saw the moon through a telescope, I think I almost cried, and I kind of think I was hoping for that. And he went, "That's cool, looks great." And then he kind of got up and walked on. He was appreciative, but I was chatting to him for a little bit, and then he walked on. And I came outside, and I was talking to this young lad, just like, and then he walked on, and she was like, "What do you do?
Where'd you get him?
Where did you get him?" I wanted him to kind of go like home to his parents and be like, I want to get a telescope. A man just showed me the moon.
Well, if he's like 21, he's probably already has plans.
He has plans. He's already picked his
You're not going to
CAO.
inspire him to go. I mean, he probably has a degree in all done.
I also felt very like almost
Ma'am,
like
I'm
a
dropping out of
drug
law.
addict or like someone like meeting someone. You want to see the moon?
Yeah, that is creepy and weird.
Just
Yeah.
take this pill.
I remember when there was the solar eclipse. Yeah, I think it was 1998 or 1999. There was we were down.
I remember that one.
Wexford. Do you remember that one?
Yeah,
Uh,
we were in Donegal. I think everyone
Wexford,
went
where we
somewhere.
were, had
Oh, wow.
it was 95% darkness, and that sounds like very dark, but actually not at all. Still
wow.
extremely bright, just a
Yeah.
kind of a grey, eerie
Yeah.
light. Other places did get full pitch dark, but there was a fella there. A family used to rent. They were from Armagh, and they would rent a mobile home, and we called them the Armanians. That's what they were called. And he worked for the Armagh Observatory, apparently. But then here he was on his holidays during the solar eclipse, which seems unusual. For a solar eclipse, an event like that, and he was just on holidays in Wexford.
Wow.
Shouldn't he be up above in the?
You got to take the time.
But he
you can
had
get.
equipment that you could look at He had special telescopes that you could look in and you could see it, and then also even a disc. He was calling a filter, like glass disc that you could you'd point it toward. You could face it, and it would face the sun, and you could see the eclipse very clearly.
Oh wow.
Because you
So
couldn't
I
look
do-
at it direct because they gave us all those 3D goggles. That was what we were looking
Yeah,
at.
yeah. You're
Which
allowed
probably,
to use them.
it's probably burning the fuck through our eyes.
I don't think so.
The Armagh Observatory, by the way, that's a very good trip. If people are like, "What'll I do?" Is it like a little trip? Go up to the Armagh. It's quite a good trip.
Would there be a tour?
There's a tour. It's just like it's cool. Like those observatories and stuff are really cool. You learn stuff about space and everything like that.
Can we get a sponsorship from
The Armagh Observatory.
Discover Ireland or one of those?
I need to go. I need to get away from everything.
Well, wouldn't that be good if we could harness this podcast to get us to go on little trips to get away from everything?
Who's your favorite Michael Collins? The main one or the moon one?
The
Oh my
moon
God.
one is a good quiz question one. People might ask on a pub quiz.
Would you? I'd say he must feel shite being like, I was literally. Well, he didn't even go on the moon, so fuck him. But
Well.
like, I literally went to the moon, and I'm not even. When people say Michael Collins, people are like, "You mean that man from Cork?" Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
It's a
but that
shame.
Michael Collins, he also took the pictures of
Yeah.
the moon. So Michael Collins, or of the Earth.
He took,
So
he
he's-
took the picture of the famous MTV guy that was up there.
Yeah.
You know.
But Michael Collins took the pictures, and that he's the only person living at that moment, was the only person living or dead not in the picture.
people always say that's amazing, but actually, is that not like the ultimate FOMO?
Or is
Well,
that
how,
kind of
how
like-
unique. How unique. What a special, unique position he finds
Would he
himself
not
in.
be like, everyone's in it and I'm not? Like literally everyone who's existed is in this photo except me. I'd feel really left out.
Or maybe he was there and he was there like lying on his bed looking at his phone, and they were like, "Come on out, like come on, it's the moon." He's like, "No, I'm just having a bad
Don't
day.
care.
I'll go tomorrow." And then they're like, "But we're going back tomorrow." Whatever, you know.
Walking on the moon.
You know, I think I sympathize a bit with Michael Collins, the third man who never went on the moon.
Yeah.
You know,
But look, every other man didn't go on the moon.
hey, you beat everyone who didn't show up here today.
Only a few other fellas went on the moon then after, a couple of years later, and then they haven't been up since.
They need to go back up there, or they fake the whole thing. Hey, who knows? But apparently, when they landed on the moon, there was a thung, like it was hollow and made of metal. So
Do you actually think they didn't land on the moon, or do you just entertain the idea of it?
I am 65% sure they landed on the moon.
That's so low.
It's a majority.
That's so low.
I walk around like I believe that they landed on the moon, but I'm skeptical.
You present as a person who believes, but privately, you're quite skeptical.
I just think of everything that came after and the fact they haven't been back and that they're like, oh, we landed on the moon. Oh, we've won. We've won the space race. The Cold War is ended because we were on the moon and America. It's a really good, it's very good.
Blending of events together.
I think that's how people view it. I think that's how America viewed it. We put a man on the moon and now we've won.
But the
We've
Cold War
beaten-
did not end in 1969. Continued for many years after that.
Well, I don't know.
If JFK wasn't killed, would they have made it to the moon?
Great question.
For listeners who don't know, Shane is poorly.
I'm always sick, and I'm sick. As I think about today on the way in here, I was like, it sounds like I'm such a frail guy, and it's not. I'm not. I actually just am doing too much.
No, do you know what? You're very strong, because if it was me that was sick, I'd just be like, no.
Not coming here.
No. Yeah.
But I feel weird about not doing the podcast.
I know. Thank you. It's a beautiful compulsion that we have.
Yusuf had to miss it before for various things, but I feel like if I can come in and sit here, then I can come in and sit here.
Yeah.
Ideally, I'd rather be at home in bed.
You're sitting here delirious, losing your mind, staring at us going, what the fuck are they saying? Talking about the moon is hollow.
No, it's a space station. So they say. No, I do believe that they landed on the moon, and I'd like to go back there. Everyone's talking about space, and they're like, have we forgotten about the fucking moon? What's going on here? Do you know what I mean?
We're all talking about Mars. I'm like, let's play more of the moon.
Yeah.
Mess around with it.
You want to see the moon?
Hey, you want to see
Hey, kid, you want to see the moon? Come on over here. Step into my front yard. Come look at the moon with me. And then he looks in, and Killian's like really like rubbing the chop's back. Yeah, get your eye up close there. That's right. Oh, you got a strong back here. You mind if I touch your backside a little bit? Oh, look at that curvature. Damn.
You make a fine astronaut. You know I work for NASA. He runs up, puts a patch over his photo wildlife jumper. Yeah, I work for NASA. We look for strapping young boys, go to the moon. You could be the one.
A little bit awkward, but I got to run a full physical on you right now. Come on inside. Come inside my flat, and let's take a look at I'll get you in a gown.
We need to do a high velocity test. Get into my car. I got in cabin. I'm going to drive really fast.
Basically, the aliens, they will take you. They will probe you. So I'm going to have to do that first, so it's not weird when it happens to you.
When they see you've already been probed, they won't do it. So I'll do it now for you right now. I got to take a lot of pictures of your beautiful, beautiful body.
You got to love your
God,
legs.
21, what a beautiful age. Oh, you're so beautiful.
So good,
You're
because
so beautiful.
what I was doing, I was
Don't mind,
asking
that's my girlfriend. She's sleeping upstairs. She don't want to look through this damn thing. I bought her the telescope. Could you believe that? Ungrateful bitch. Not like you. My beautiful boy. My beautiful, beautiful boy. You want to see the moon? You want to see the moon with me, sugar?
I literally I felt so good. I was like, I'm building community. I'm making friends with my neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
That ruined everything.
At night? What time was it at night?
When I would have come home from the gig and on show, so that probably finishes. Maybe it was probably like 10 o'clock.
Jesus Christ.
What?
That's quite late.
To be asking people if they want to see the moon. That's
I
when the
think for
moon's
talking
out.
to anyone in general out on the street. I think that,
Yeah.
you know.
Anyway, thank you for that. That really made me laugh. I appreciated that.
Good.
I'm glad.
And you were shouting on the street, does anyone want to see the moon? And then he came down.
I was like the opposite of Wee Willie Winky. Wake the kids up! Wake them up!
We talk about Wee Willie Winky so much.
I love him. I love him as a
Yeah.
character. Wake them up! Show them the moon!
I caught a lady leaving her dog shit outside our house the other day. And I felt humiliated for her. I didn't mean to humiliate her, but I was like, can you clean up that? And she was so embarrassed. And I was like, this is embarrassing for you. It was humiliating for her. She said
You made her your boy?
She said,
But
she
you
said
didn't
such
enjoy it?
stupid stuff. This woman, she was like, that would normally never happen. I was like, what? Like, what's that even mean in this context, babe? And I wasn't nasty about it. I was
You're
like, can you please clean up that?
fucking idiot.
I was like, can you clean up after your dog, please? I was like really calm about it. And then I ended up, I went and got her a little bag out of my own house. But I was like, I felt it's a strange trade-off, isn't it? I was like, I should have said, I don't mean to embarrass you. I don't mean, but she was so embarrassed. They're spouting rubbish like that.
Yeah.
Oh, see, normally, I was like, right. And then she's like, something to do with the bag, or her bag of bags wouldn't open or something. And I went, okay, well, what are you going to do about this shit? And then,
Big shit, big dump, or
look, it doesn't matter. It's the
What
principle
breed-
of the thing.
what
It's
breed of
it was a small dog, but it's just such a, the disrespect of those people to
you
go
just
to
standing
someone
outside
else.
your house,
No,
or-
I saw the dog from inside my house.
Glance
And
so
the
you
dishes-
opened your door.
I went out, yeah.
Wow.
Because I just think it's,
So she stood and waited.
let me finish
outside
what
your
I'm trying to
house.
say about this thing. I've
Yeah.
tried 3 times. I've just said, like, there's the level of disrespect that you would go to someone else's area.
Yeah.
She's on a walk. She's not from there. She's from somewhere else. And on her walk, she'll go to someone else's footpath. was like, no, I'll leave the shit here and I'll go off to my home. Now, she'll never walk her dog in through by our place ever again.
No.
So
she won't.
I've stopped one shitter. I've stopped.
What if she was like, no, look,
Shitbuster.
I had a paper bag and I had a lighter and it was going to be a prank. And
I'd accept that.
Prank.
I'd accept that if she had a story to back it up, but I didn't see any paper bag. I didn't see any lighter. I didn't see that damn principal's house or anything like that.
I thought you were old man Marley. I'm sorry. I thought you were that crotchety old man who keeps stealing everyone's footballs. I'm so sorry.
Wait, so
must be the other gable
I
end.
am curious. So you saw her through the window
Mm-hmm.
and then you opened the door. Was she standing outside your house?
It wasn't like outside my footpath. She was just she was 4-5 meters away from my house.
See, people think that, obviously Shane works incredibly hard, and he's constantly gigging, but in his kind of passive screensaver mode, downtime, he's staring out the window listening to Claire Byrne.
When will he come home?
Yeah.
No, I was speaking to my partner, Raymond, and then in the midst of that, I looked at.
No, she's taking shit.
Yeah.
She knew she was doing it. That's what she knew. She was looking at her phone as if like, oh, I'm just looking at my phone for a second. I'll walk again now in a sec. You knew what was happening. There is a poo-demic across this city of Dublin, and people need to fuck off.
Clean up doctors have taken a shite. Disgusting.
Do you know, I think we need to make the boy with the poo in his eyes like a mascot, the Glan Suicide.
Oh, yeah.
More of a Fido Dido type character, him coming into a room and just he'll break into a door somewhere and be like, ah!
Oh, God, that was so loud.
Sorry.
Oh, my God.
Oh, poor shit.
I don't even have headphones in, but that sounded like I did.
But I think you should just go walk into a room and scream, and so people
Can you
can
explain
really.
the boy with the poo in the eyes for people? Because I don't think
So people who don't know,
understood.
you see him up and they're put up by, Dublin City Council, it's his Glan Suicide or whatever.
Just clean it up, but it doesn't really work in Irish, actually. It doesn't really.
No.
It doesn't.
And it's a boy who looks very sad. Instead of eyes, he's got a round up turd. Two, actually. And it's kind of like.
And he stood the test of time.
Because you can get blinded by poo.
Yeah, children can go blind
Children
from
can
dogs'
go blind
shite.
from dogs' poo.
Anyway, so yeah, it's a weird choice to put the shit on the eyes. I did get a delivery of my new things that are going to eat the killer insects inside my plants.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got these live animal things, and you put water in them, kind of like sea monkeys from when you were a child.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, those little live guys are going to go in and shred up all the things that are eating my plants and creating.
Oh, I have some good
little
news to cheer you up.
stuff,
The
please.
spider plant that you gave us, it's a
Yes.
spider plant, right? It's starting to settle. It's really
Okay,
it's
good.
starting to sprout new leaves. It's looking good. It's gonna
Take off anything brown, Killian. Take it off.
Do you snip it at the end?
Snip off whatever. Not at the end. That just means it hasn't got water when it needed some, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't
You know,
snip at the
it
end.
definitely a little bit of brown on the edge, but it's growing out the center.
Don't
and I'm
worry
like,
about the brown on the
I can
end.
see
Yeah.
this will become a beautiful plant.
Yeah.
And I was nervous for a while, but now it is being nurtured and cared for, and it's doing really well.
Don't worry at the brown at the end. That's what he said. But
For God's sake, Tony, Shane's second year to bringing us down to that level.
So you've got a new predator to take out the old predator.
Yes,
So you're
so
going to have
they're-
to bring in another thing to eat those then when they finish.
No, I'm not sure to be honest, I'm not sure how this works. So what I have is fungus gnats, and then you buy these real life things. I forget what they're called. They're called like endemy or something. Anyway, you pour them into a well-watered plant, and they'll go in and they'll just eat up all the little bad guys who are creating little mini flies around my house and are also eating the bulbs of my plants and all. Eating the plants' roots and making them damaged.
Are they little white things?
That's what I have in there at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't opened the envelope because it's in a sealed envelope thing. So
Okay.
maybe I'll do a little video resame.
That'd be great.
But I'm not sure what's going to happen. Do they just live in there then? The guys I put in, or will they die as well?
I think you're going to have to get something bigger. So maybe something like a load of spiders, and then you're probably going to have to get something even
gonna have
bigger
to
for
keep
that.
getting
Worms?
bigger and bigger.
Maybe
I think ultimately the end goal is to have a large bear that lives in the house.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Like an apex predator?
An apex predator.
Is
It'll
it a
ultimately
human
get to
being
that
not an apex predator? Because there's two of them live
Leisureplex
there.
predator. more or less.
Leisureplex predator?
A leisureplex predator.
Kind of like
So
you.
the yellow bellies, the custard browns.
We got Sonny got a Venus flytrap from the garden centre and was very excited by it. Sorry, I saw him feeding it fucking chicken the other day. But
Do they eat chicken?
well, this one closed its mouth.
Which does?
The little Venus flytrap.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a load of them kind of sprouting up. He's obsessed with it. He's very into carnivorous plants. He's very normal. And so we got that, and then he was in that kind of moment where I'm like trying to close the door to say goodnight, and then that's when he comes out with like, "Hey, and one more thing," you know. He was like, I was closing the door, and he goes, we'd watched this thing about bugs and spiders and stuff, and he was like, one more thing. I hate spiders. And I was like, why? Because they're always eating flies, and the 4 flies are being trapped and they're eating them. But I don't mind the Venus flytrap eating the flies because I like him. And I'm like trying to close the door.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
But it was literally the flip of a switch with how upset he was at spiders to being like, but actually, let me tell you, I actually don't mind the Venus
Something we
flytrap.
like about plants that can eat. It kind of just seems like something they shouldn't be doing.
I know.
Don't let him mess too much with that Venus flytrap though, because it will ruin it. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't have the chicken, because if you poke at it, it will close up. But then it will then shoot out its little acids, and if you let it shoot out its little acids and there's nothing to absorb them, like a fly, Marhampla, then it will start killing itself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's they're kind of a nuisance. I had them for a while and I really worked on them, but they're a nuisance. They're a nuisance.
Sick. It's a sick world.
And they don't always demolish or disintegrate the fly that they catch. So they kind of suck out the juice of the fly, and then they kind of just like open up again, and like this little fly corpse just hangs around. You're like, well, that's not pleasant.
No. Jeez, you know a lot about this now.
Yeah.
I had them.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We were watching this book thing, and do you know what my Roman Empire is? I don't think about it too much. And it's like more of a gratitude, is that insects are small and they're not big.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so grateful. You have no idea.
Imagine the mosquito was helicopter sized.
There is and even a bloody ant, just they could fling a car over the bloody World Trade Center, over the Twin Towers, from a book I read, the Twin Towers that are still there. Like they could do that.
I don't want to be one to tell you this, but
A number of years ago, there was a terror attack on New York City.
you survived it. Didn't you survive it?
I did.
Tell us the story again, Tony.
Tell us the story.
You tell it so well.
I don't think you've ever told it on this podcast.
He has, but I want it again.
No, look, we were very excited. We were going to New York City. And we
Greatest
booked
city on earth.
Greatest city on Big Apple. Crunch. And my dad was like, would you like to go to New York City? I said, great. What year are we going to go? He said 2001.
Oh my God.
We didn't know. So we...
No, it was not. How did you know?
I liked the way you presented it as if you could choose the year that you go to New York City.
He was...
I would like to go to New York in the 1960s.
We're going to go
please.
this year, 2001. I said, sounds great. We had no idea. So we boarded the plane. Everything looked fine. Everyone looked like there was nothing, We touched down. We had a wonderful time. We visited the World Trade Center. And we looked up, and I tell you, your neck. I mean, a doctor should tell you if you need to practice putting your neck back that you're actually looking up at the World Trade Center, because that'd be a very effective way of putting your neck back. You couldn't even see. And then all of a sudden, we went home, and again a nice flight. And 6 months later, those towers were destroyed.
Jesus
How
Christ.
did you feel? You just survived. I mean, that
The
must
panic that must set
have set in. Like, how
Did you get
Did
help?
you have survivor's guilt?
Yeah. Did you get help?
I don't. That's leaning into actually
Right.
the actual trauma of the event. But no, and you know what? I remember sad to find out, not sadder, but the thing that really hit me was that one of the buildings that was destroyed used to have a department store called Century 21, and I pictured like a big, massive TK Maxx of just all of the reject clothes. And while I was there, I bought 4 pairs of extra large boxers that had chat-up lines on them, which I thought would make me a sexy man. They had things like, if I could rearrange the alphabet, I'd put you and I together. But they were extra large, and they would bunch up in my trousers.
Yes.
And it always looked like I was wearing a nappy. And I had 4 pairs of them, and I swapped them out in rotation.
Well,
and I was very sad to think that no other kind of horny young fella would be able to get those chat-up-line boxers.
Yes, that's the real
That's
tragedy.
the personal tragedy.
you'll be delighted to know that the Century 21 is back in downtown New York.
Oh,
It is there.
Thank goodness.
Because I had to get a Christmas present from my from one of my co-workers.
You got him 4 pairs of
I got
boxers.
4 pairs of boxers. It says, you and I. She was grateful, Jessica. No, I got a foot bath. It was one of those ones where everyone said, just get her a foot bath. So I got her a foot bath.
Oh, nice.
And when I was buying it, one behind the counter, this is an American department store, said, do you want to get like 50% off? And I was like, yeah. She was like, okay, cool. And then she's like,
Kiss me.
she was like, it was very clear halfway through that she was actually trying to set up a credit card. That was what she was doing.
wow. Oh my
God.
Yeah. But they don't tell you that. They're just like, kind of like, you want it 50% off? And I was like, yeah, cool. And then she went, she's this lovely woman. She's like, okay, cool. And asking me all these questions. And I was just giving her all my information. And then she was like, what's your social security number? And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, what do you mean you don't know? And I was like, I don't know my number. She's like, everyone needs to know their number. How do you not know your number? And I was like, I think I could find it somewhere. And then I went into my pocket and I just loose in my pocket had my social security card. And she was looking at me like, why do you have that? And I was just like, I don't know, I just have it, that's where I keep it. She was like, you're not supposed, like, that's your whole identity. And
What is it? What is this?
it's quite similar to your PPS number. I think it's kind of like your
Yeah, but
PPS
why is
number.
it so? It doesn't
can
matter who
anyone do
knows
with
your
it?
PPS number. Why do Americans want to keep that real
think
private from each other?
I think it's used as a thing to. I don't know. Actually, I don't really know. But it's like a credit card number, probably a bit more, because you can use it for identity fraud, and usually only the last 4 digits are kind of revealed publicly. You know.
But you were supposed to just tell her.
Yeah, I was going to tell her.
Confusing.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
this
I
a bit
didn't
of-
know it, so it's I'm so good at keeping it a secret. I keep it even from myself.
We got guys coming in here with Social Security in their pocket. They don't even respect the sanctity, the privacy. Just picturing that, just being an immigrant, just coming in being like, this?
My social security card was, I went to this, do you know the band called Gwar?
Yes.
Yeah, Gwar. Shane, you know Gwar?
No.
Metal band.
They are a very strange, brilliant metal band
Wear
who
masks.
dress up in massive costumes and they spray loads and loads of fake blood.
This is pre-Lordy now.
This is pre-Lord, crazy amounts. And they do a whole thing where they're like these aliens who have come to Earth to destroy Earth and they hate us and stuff. I went to a Gwar gig on maybe my 3rd day with my friend Mark and got sprayed with buckets and buckets of fake blood that was shot out of Donald Trump's head, got ripped off, and then a cannon kind of sprayed
Wow.
it. And at one point it was spraying me directly in my face. And I thought I was going to drown. I really did. And then, anyway, I went to my meeting the next day to get my visa, my work visa, and I presented my social security card, and it was dyed completely red with fake blood. This is like quite a beautiful blue document in that sort of American style that's quite 80s. And it was completely red and like quite damp. And the guy was just like completely ignored it, but I was holding it to him and it was like flopping around. And it was like, oh, it's so bad.
So it's you're trying to protect from criminals, like there's a murder on the loose. Here's my number. Pardon, excuse the blood. Sorry about that.
Call me anytime.
Call me anytime. The bloody woman in the laundrette couldn't get the blood out. I want to kill her. But you can still see the number.
So jealous of your keep cup, Shane. You're so diligent with it.
I bring the keep cup especially because you get money off in all the coffee shops now.
Oh.
But then the coffee shop of Hot Boys down the road, they will charge you. You can't get a takeaway cup on a Monday or a Friday.
Wow.
You have to have a keep cup. And then if they're like, you've no keep cup, they do this €6 cup thing that you can buy and bring back.
That's great. Killarney, the whole town of Killarney's like that.
Is it?
Yeah, only keep cups.
Little things.
Yeah.
Small changes we can all make.
Yeah.
When I was in Amsterdam, they gave us a coffee served in a cup that you can eat. And it was like a wafer.
Wafer, yeah.
And
Like the body of our Lord.
like the body of a Lord. I don't know if it had been, what's the...
Yes, unblessed.
Oh, flat white.
Yeah. This is my body. This cup actually is my body. But like we finished the coffee and we were hungry, but I was halfway through it and I'm like, this is too much. Like the idea, it's like now this burden of having to like eat your waste, you pig. But it was interesting. The kids wanted to have some, but sure, it was soaked in caffeine. Couldn't give it to them.
Yeah.
But look, the right direction, but too much food. Do you know what I mean? Like imagine you had to eat your plate. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think that's the solution.
No.
Unfortunately, Also, why can I put? No, I suppose it's compost. It doesn't matter. Forget it. Those compostable cups. I was like, you don't have to rinse them. It's fine. I can't believe I'm talking about how you actually
How granular are you going to go?
of the
How
waste.
detailed are we going to get with this? Keep it up.
And he's got his water bottle
Keep
too.
it up.
He's unbelievable.
He's saving the earth.
He's saving the earth.
One step at a
Water
time.
doesn't smell right.
Oh my God. You're not well.
Uh-oh. Aaron Brockovich over here.
Aaron Brockovich is one of the films that you can watch on TikTok at every few months. At the moment, my TikTok is telling me it's now time for you to watch The Secret Garden in small snippets over the next few weeks. So I will be watching The Secret Garden.
That's a girls' film.
That's great.
That is a girls' film. I know, but it was kind of like you can
it.
understand why. Yeah, but then the magic of it.
It's
Fantastic.
great. I love it.
Is it a famous book before it was a film?
Yes,
because it
famous
really
book.
is. I mean, imagine that as a secret passages, right? So on the outset, kind of girly film, but loads of things boys like. The house had secret passages in it.
That's class.
Haunted wailing. That's pretty blokey, I feel.
Sick.
Whoa.
Haunted wailing was something.
That's awesome.
Now, the little boy who was frail,
Yeah.
he's quite gay. Like,
Yeah.
kind of a little.
I love it because
little
it has
fruit.
that sickly Victorian boy
Yeah,
who's
he's
just
so-
in bed all the time.
he's
with
so
whooping
pallid.
cough or whatever it is.
Whatever.
That should
He's
be a
on my
gay
legs.
subculture.
It was not
Sick
even-
Victorian boy kind of chic, you know?
Yeah, you know, there's like bears and cubs,
Yeah.
sick Victorian children. Like, oh, he's an otter.
Whooping
He's a
cough.
sick Victorian
Yeah.
child.
And instead of that kind of
Dropsy was.
napkin-
We were trying to remember that a few weeks ago. Dropsy was the old illness we couldn't recall a few weeks
okay.
ago. Someone did
Invalid.
message us
They
in.
also call them. He's an invalid.
Yes. They don't
Yes.
say that so much anymore.
Killian keeps throwing out these words that are old-fashioned
Yeah.
words. You keep doing that lately.
I like them. There's something
Oh.
about them. I just think they're funny that they're gone to the past but never show a return.
You're right. We need to take invalid back.
Yeah, so that's all good. But then, like, the idea of going around, hanging around all the time and just being in a garden, hanging around,
I mean, that's
pretty cool
amazing.
stuff.
That's
and then
amazing.
It's kind of every summer,
a
isn't it?
key behind, like, pulling back the leaves. And, it's good stuff.
What's
I
in
love
there?
it. What
It's a
do you want
garden.
to know what's in
It's a
there?
beautiful-
Just a garden.
Yeah, but it's a beautiful secret garden.
But there was another garden. There was plenty of garden.
Yeah. It wasn't like there was no garden. It was just more garden. It was a walled garden.
If you're
Secret.
building to a reveal, there better be something fucking good, like Robo Dino or some shit in there.
And in the garden, there's a mountain where the ring must be destroyed.
Oh, class!
Yeah, so it's, but only 9 can go. And 1 shall die.
So I've intercut the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy into the Secret Garden. Just I didn't really like what was in there.
Just the type of adventures I always wanted to have as a kid. I kind of wanted to, not so much Lord of the Rings. What I wanted was like something where I wanted to get a cut on either side of my forehead so that I'd have a blood trickle from there, you know?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I really wanted, there has to be surely a time in my life
Yeah.
where I'm going to get cut that it trickles down from there. I needed
That
that.
always happens in the movies.
Yeah, they always
Yeah.
have it and they're like, ugh, you know, whatever.
It's
What
an
would your
anime thing.
If
kind
you
of.
were like going on an adventure, or all of a sudden a wizard was all like, "I need you and your friends." So picture your friends when you were like a kid hanging out with, and he was like, "You get to choose your weapon. What do you think you would have done? Would you have been a bow and arrow? Would you have been battle axe? Would you have been
Ooh,
sword,
bow and
shield?
arrow. Yeah, I bought a few bow and arrows over the years, but I quite liked a stick as well, like
Oh,
Donatello had.
Yeah.
That's great.
I would quite like that,
Oh, yeah.
that kind of thing. Not
Yeah.
interested in what's Raphael's ones? What are they called?
Size.
Yeah.
Size. Forky things.
They're called
They
size.
look like bloody
Size.
They're called
salads.
size.
Kind of something
Spell
you'd
it.
use making a
It's got
kebab.
some weird Japanese spelling, but they're size.
They don't
Maybe
look useful.
TSAI or
They
something.
don't look useful at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're very
No.
cool.
But
They're
yeah, I
very
like that. I
Yeah.
like the stick. If you could do a lot with a stick.
I think a bow and arrow is very good. I think that's very. I think I'd be kind of bow and arrow, but a stick is good as well.
Yeah.
Douche.
I took an
That's the
archery.
noise we would make for basically every single bit of action.
What was your noise?
Douche.
We were much
That's
more
good.
based.
It's a real New York kind of douche.
Douche.
Douche. Ugh.
Oh, douche.
Hey,
These
you douche
fucking
me, and my
villains.
brother gonna douche.
I'm douching them. Douche? Okay.
Douche.
No, it's douche.
Make sure you douche. Okay.
It's interesting in the Turtles that like they all had different weapons, but essentially they would all use them as sticks because obviously Leonardo cannot cut a foot soldier in half,
Yeah.
and Raphael isn't stabbing anyone. So essentially, it was just kind of like bonk, you know. So surely Donatello is the most powerful because
Yeah.
he has the biggest
Yeah.
bonk.
And he knows about tech, which
And he
is
knows about
only
tech.
going to burst.
He knows machines.
Did you use guns? You fake guns when you were a kid,
Whoa.
or were you sword play?
Yeah, no. I think if you figure out a sound effect that you can do, you know,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
then you'd be doing that, or like a
Yeah.
grenade launcher, you know, like, boom,
Yeah. That's good.
you know.
I kind of think kids who imagined playing with guns rather than like swords and bows and arrows, I feel like they're all right wing. I don't know. That's kind of a theory I
Interesting.
have. Yeah. I feel
Interesting.
like they all became right wing.
Mm.
Just don't know. That's just the theory I have.
We had some good guns as kids.
Really?
Proper like wooden handled metal guns. Cowboy style.
Oh, that's true. Cowboy. Do you know what? You're right. I actually would have done that myself. So maybe I'm right wing.
We had good little cowboy outfits.
Yeah.
I do remember as a child you had all that stuff there. I just wish obviously what am I doing? Yearning for a time when life was simple. Of course, who doesn't? But you'd be like
play with guns for the day.
You'd be going around doing your bit and you'd be like, oh, I must put on my little cowboy outfit actually. Then you just go and be a cowboy for a while and say, just like doing that, whatever. But then you'd be a cowboy outfit, but you'd be drawing on a magnadoodle. So what the? Cowboys didn't have access to that. The cowboys running around the Wild West, and it was Victorian England at the time. What a weird world.
That's crazy. Do you know, if you were walking around as a cowboy and then you'd be like, you were really into it and you'd be like, howdy. And then like someone's like drawing on an Etch-a-Sketch or whatever, or magnadoodle, and you're like, what the fuck is that, partner? And like Shane's really into it. you know, what's that? Like screaming at a car. And they're like, look, you can be a cowboy, but now, like, you know.
I love that.
Sarsaparilla.
Getting so deep into the character, every part of Modern World amazes you.
Yeah.
I bumped into Killian at the Beyond the Pale festival and he had a cowboy hat on and you looked absolutely adorable and I was like, you look so cute in your hat, and you're like, oh yeah, but I hate it, I don't want to wear it, and you just it was like a cumbersome event for you.
Why was that? Why?
You were annoyed about having the hat, you didn't want to have the hat, but you looked so cute.
I think I'd left the van with the hat on.
And you didn't mean to.
And I well no, I think what happened was people start talking when you're wearing a hat.
Yeah.
People start talking about the hat.
Yeah.
And then after a while you're like, all right.
No one sees you anymore.
My eyes are down here.
You know, my eyes are down here. And it's like, I don't know, the hat becomes too much of a fixation and people are talking about it. People are like, can I have a go? People want to wear the hat, all this kind of stuff. And then eventually you're like, I wish I didn't have this hat. But unfortunately, the van is a 15-minute walk away.
Yeah.
I'm not going to walk back, put the hat back and then come back out. And then my hair is kind of flattened by the hat already. So I think that was where you caught me. You caught me at a bad time.
Yeah, that's annoying. You sometimes just have to power through. I mean, I've said this time and time again that, you know, everyone's worried about being the hat guy. You know, you come out and you're wearing a hat. Like my friend Charlie one time was wearing a hat and everyone was like, all right, hat guy. And he fucking binned it straight away. Like, you know, he was in his 30s then, you know, or he's just turned
for
30.
God's sake.
And then it was just like, he's like, oh, it's hard, you know. That's why when people go abroad, they're like, I'm going to wear a fedora. No one I know is here. I'm going to be the fedora guy while I'm here, you know. And then they go back and they're like, I might try the fedora thing. And then they're like, no, I can't. But if you just push through it, people get tired. There's 3 tough days of people being like, all right, hat guy, you know, sorry, I'm just going to fix my hat. You know, 3 tough days. But then once you push through, you're just like, oh, that's just him with the hat, you know? So you can be just...
Don't wear a fedora though, but okay.
I think fedoras have gotten such a...
Unless you're a jazz musician.
I think we need to look at the good people that wear fedoras.
Who are they?
Gangsters, Marble.
They're famously
people.
bad people.
Boys.
They're cool, you know, and
like Al Capone.
Al Capone. I'm sure there's people walking up and down beaches, riding rings around people that are real Casanovas wearing a fedora.
Beaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fedora. But then I think people always just think of the kind of the neckbeard fedora wearers who are kind of, you know, incels, which that's
Milady.
Yes, that kind of vibe. You know, I think they get a worse rap, but it's a cool hat. Like, and we just, you know.
Well,
you know
come back next week to Young Hot Guys, Fedora the Explorer. Tony will be wearing a fedora for 3 days straight.
We should do a competition. The forfeit should be that I have to wear a fedora for a week.
All right.
If I lose.
At Vicar Street.
At Vicar Street.
I like Fedora the Explorer a lot.
That's very strong.
That was very good.
Is it?
Yeah, it was funny. Young Hat Guys.
Young Hat Guys.
Yes, we will be making some hats at some point in the future. I like the one that you've got, actually. That would be a good one.
This one I bought for Raymond, but it didn't fit him.
Big head. Big, beautiful head.
Big, beautiful head. And terrible attitude.
Terrible attitude,
Listen,
but a great head.
I can't believe it, but we actually have to go.
We have to go because Shane needs to take his steroids.
I need to go pick them up from the pharmacy and ask the pharmacist what's going to happen to me when I take this pill.
And remember, put them up your butt.
I don't know if it's going to be up the butt.
Well,
if it is, so be it.
You can actually just opt for that privately. They don't tell you, but you can put anything up there. It's your own personal
I hope I've
choice.
represented myself okay. I feel self-conscious these podcasts today. If anyone's sitting there going, he sounds like a pain in the arse,
Oh my God.
maybe give me a wide, just let me have it for this week and I'll be back to normal next
Shane
week.
is sick and he has showed up to work.
Yeah.
And that is incredible just for you guys.
But they might be like, when I said to you, when I said, let me say it, I tried 3 times to say it. They might be like, God, he sounds so abrupt. But
I'd say most of them will be
like,
like, he did try to say that 3 times, and you interrupted him 3 times.
I know, but just for some people, they might think he's a bastard.
No, please don't
Killian's
think
okay
that.
with that, I
Please
think,
don't.
yeah.
I'm fine with
It
that.
will.
And
But it's
actually,
fine.
I don't think they are. I think you're projecting.
I'm
on-
just self-conscious today.
Yeah. Well, everyone give him a little bit of
Everyone.
gra.
No, I don't want anything from anyone.
Don't give anyone, and no one give him anything ever.
Oh, thank you.
Guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Round of applause for Shane.
No, listen. Well done, everybody. All the boys at being young hot guys. And when I say boys, I use it gender neutrally in terms of all of the H story who are listening to this podcast. You're all young and hot, and you're a big, great group of guys, and we must get us all together someday.
Yeah.
It's so hard to get everyone to rooms.
Oh
isn't it?
yeah, but I
Oh,
can't do.
so
When are
hard.
you doing? Because I can't.
No,
Because
see, I'm
I'm
doing
doing the other
because
week.
so much on, and
But
between
maybe
the
if we
crash
look
and
in
the
a
other
month's
business.
time and kind of regroup.
get us all
Do
together.
Google like a Google sheet thing or whatever.
Yeah,
Google,
we'll
you
do
know,
a
and then you can
cross-reference.
say
So
or
many people are away.
If
People
anyone
My
listen,
wants
April's out
to-
and my May is out.
just so
people
people give
listen
a
to this
thumbs up
podcast in
emoji.
66 different countries.
Yeah,
so it's
so
hard
it's
to get
just just
try
do
and
it.
line it up because the time zones will be
We'll
different.
put in the WhatsApp and then you do like a thumbs up emoji, you know, or then a thumbs down,
Yeah.
you know, or like a green, purple devil or something.
Yeah, well, we'll all learn all the time about that. But anyway, we'll try and get us all together.
We'll try and
anyway,
get us
'cause I
all
just
together.
think
No,
it'd be good-
definitely this year.
Try and get us all. I don't mind. See, if my parents are away in the summer, their house is a bit bigger than mine, you know, so maybe I could have everyone there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
I
could-
don't know. If we're going out, we're going out.
Why
You know
don't
what I
we just meet
mean?
in the Phoenix
So
Yeah,
we'll
it's close
vote on
to-
what we're going to do,
Yeah.
and then we'll get the date, and then we'll just do general month, and then we can just see.
And if
when-
people don't want to
general.
come for you can just join for a drink after. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If you're
just
doing
come and
something
show
else,
us to the drink
if you
after,
go
just show
for
your
it.
face.
a drink
Yeah.
after. Well, look,
Yeah.
if only
Stick
and if
your
only
head in.
half
Stick your head
people
in.
can make it in the first one. We'll just do another one.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
do another one,
I know.
you
Yeah,
know.
totally do it
We
again.
just see,
The other kind of way. Yeah.
Like, but you know, if the right people don't show up at the first one, we probably just won't do it at all.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and
It'll
like
be one
one
of those
group are going to
things.
go for a C-swim, but you don't have to do that.
You don't
No,
have to
you
do
don't.
that.
That's
Not a lot of
optional.
people are
Yeah.
doing the thing, and people have different relationship with their bodies as well.
And
Yeah,
someone will probably
100%.
we'll probably do something the day after, like a walk. We'll
Yeah.
organise. We probably won't do it.
The walk
We'll
or-
talk
We end up
about
not
doing
doing
it.
it, but if
Or
we rent a
barbecue.
house, say you'd be
Yeah.
like a big Airbnb.
Yeah, and then we do pranks somewhere, and then we're like the barbecue's happening like 7:00.
Yes.
and then we'll head into town afterwards. So
Yeah.
you jump wherever you can.
You
that
jump
weekend.
in, hop in. It's a
Yeah.
rotating thing.
Just keep an eye on the group.
Anyway, we'll set up a WhatsApp group. We'll add all of you guys into it,
And people can maybe like vote on when they think that, like,
Yes.
what day maybe they want to.
Yes.
We'll do a poll.
We'll do a poll on it. Yeah.
yeah, Paul, the Irish word for Paul, or just the name Paul. It's its own thing. Anyway,
We'll run a poll. I apologize.
Mar Hamplan, Paul Mescal.
Bye.
Bye.
They're attracted. Very attractive. Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around. Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy. It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.